Story number 6. The attic door that should have stayed shut. In the winter of 2005, during my junior year of high school, something happened that I'll never forget. It was a Friday night, and like most weekends, my friends and I had gathered to play video games. After a few hours, the boredom set in, so we decided to go for a drive, as we often did. Matt was driving. Eric sat up front in the passenger seat, while Ryan and I were in the back. We had just dropped our friend Billy off at his house, and were heading back to Matt's place, driving down a familiar road. We'd driven this stretch countless times before, so nothing seemed out of the ordinary. As we rounded a curve and hit a long, straight section of the road, we saw something up ahead. There, in the middle of the road, stood a man, completely still, his arms hanging at his sides. He was about 150 yards away, and as we got closer, Matt flipped on his high beams. The man didn't move an inch, but now we could see him more clearly. He wore faded jeans, a red plaid jacket, and a camouflage baseball cap. What struck me most, though, were his eyes. They seemed to glow unnaturally in the darkness, reflecting the headlights like an animal's would. Matt slowed the car to a stop for what felt like several minutes, but was probably only 30 seconds. We all just stared at the man in stunned silence. He stared back, completely motionless, not even flinching. The eerie stillness hung in the air. No one in the car said a word, but we were all thinking the same thing. Something about this wasn't right. Then, without warning, the man bolted. He sprinted off to our left, vanishing into the woods at full speed. Matt floored the gas pedal, and we sped away, hearts racing and adrenaline pumping. When we got back to Matt's house, the conversation erupted. We all agreed on one thing. Those eyes weren't normal. They seemed to glow in a way none of us could explain. At first, I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was just the headlights reflecting weirdly. But the more I think about it, the less certain I am. That night, something beyond the ordinary happened, and it still gives me chills to this day. Story